Everybody is wondering, is this my time? And now I've been in 5 playoff series, and I haven't been out of one. And it seems like people are just making it to be my fault because I haven't advanced. And that seems to be the point this year. Everybody is really focusing on me and seeing how I'm going to respond.
Back in the playoffs after missing the postseason party a season ago, and Houston coming into this as one of the hottest teams to end the regular season, finishing on a 16-6 run to end the regular season. Poor off the mark, and Utah scoreless still in about 3.5 minutes of play. They are 0 of 6 from the field. Here's Tracy McGrady back the other way underneath, and Chuck Hayes makes it 6-0.
Baskets, the Jazz have been content to settle for perimeter jumpers that are not going down. Yao Ming dominant in the paint area early on.
Aaron Williams underneath. Utah still looking for its first field goal, now 0 for 6 from the field. The Utah Jazz stumbled into the postseason, losing 6 of their last 9. Yao Ming made
firsthand exactly what it is that I go through. But he did go on to say about this game, we've got a lot of young guys. Are we going to be intimidated? Are we going to get out there and run our offense? It's a different game and a different season now. Speaking to Derek Fisher, he echoed that. He said, however, a lot can change with one game. Our confidence can be changed if we can get one of these first 2. Mark?
Yeah, they had a little bonding session, Jim, between the team owner, Larry Miller, and the players. Kirilenko coming weak side with a nice block, and that's what I'm sure Jerry Sloan would like to see more of from Andre Kirilenko, a little more activity.
Mark, to back up Jim's fine point, the confidence is going to come from your great players, from Carlos Ming right now. Houston has the stars in Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. And this guy right here, Darren Williams, keep an eye on him. He has the potential to control this entire series.
Derek Fisher, meaning this year, Bill, quote, "It's on me," end quote.
Well, that's nice of him to say that, but it's not really true.
Battier, meanwhile, knocking down the three-pointer.
Tracy McGrady is one of the greatest players of this generation, and if he played with better teammates, he would have been out of the first round before. This is the 3rd leading scorer by average in the history of the NBA playoffs, with almost 30 points a game. Now, responsibility. It's going to be a lot on Yao Ming, on Shane Battier, Rafer Alston, and this young man here, the Chuck Wagon, Chucky Hayes.
Battier from exactly the same spot, different result this time. Boozer rebounds for the Utah Jazz. Utah with an opportunity now to tie the game. Under 4.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Here's that pick and roll game again, and Darren Williams is playing at an all-star level.
That's all the plays, even dating back to the Hall of Famer John Stockton.
There's Fisher pulling up in the lane, and Derek Fisher temporarily solving his shooting.
Derek Fisher, because he is, by the numbers, the worst shooter in the history of this building, the Toyota Center.
Wow, that's an incredible stat.
Well,
that's a good one.
He's shooting 27% from the field in his career in this building. And no one ever has done that poorly.
Gonna have to play at least 2 here. Matt Harpring off the bench, and
I think Houston has come out too amped up, too focused up. This is one of a lot of games ahead of you to win the championship.
Rafer Alston, one of 4 Houston players.
Now, where will the offensive firepower come from Utah's front line?
The foul was against Boozer. That was Utah's first foul of the game. We've almost played an entire quarter. From the corner, Rafer Alston knocks down the 3.
They can't call them all. Just get out there and play your game, and you'll be just fine. I'm staggered that Jerry Sloan is not already in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Boy, Kiricek aggressive on defense against Tracy McGrady, but commits the team's 2nd foul.
Here's who can match up against Tracy McGrady. Foul trouble should not be an issue for Utah.
McGrady with the pull-up on Kiricek.
Tremendous defense by Gordon Kiricek.
Oh, they made McGrady work. Saved, but back to John Howard. It'll count. A man bristling at the notion that they are sleepers. They feel that they have the chemistry and the talent to go a long way into the playoffs. Here's Okura from downtown, and he knocks down his 2nd three-pointer of the game. Utah back up.
First time in his career, Tracy McGrady leads a playoff-bound team in assists.
Wide open, Tracy McGrady off the mark once again, 0 for 6.
Utah should be concerned that they only have a 2-point lead with Yao Ming not being dominant, with Tracy McGrady yet to make a basket.
Yao Ming on the bench right now, getting a breather. course, conditioning has always been a little bit of a factor for him. Giricek just inside the three-point line, and Gordan Giricek.
Jeff Hornacek from the championship level years in the 90s for the Utah Jazz. Great defense by Matt Harpring, who will be a big factor in this series.
Bill, the tempo of this game seems to have swung in the favor of Utah in the last 5 or so minutes.
Tempo is Houston, slower, grind it out. Execution in no man's land, and take advantage of Utah's superior depth and team speed.
Jazz in the midst of a 7-0 run. Juwan Howard snaps the drought at the offensive end for the Houston Rockets, while Yao Ming was out with his injury when he missed 32 games with a fractured leg. Juwan Howard came in and did an outstanding job for the Rockets. Millsap underneath, the rookie out of Louisiana Tech.
Prefer to play against a methodical, banging center inside who you know exactly what he's going to do. You got the creativity of Okur.
And Matt Harpring knocking down the mid-range jumper.
He looked very, very good, but all the players could learn from Vince's mishaps today is don't be so focused in on being an individual star. Just get it done over Utah's bench. 14 points for the Jazz off that bench, 6 for 10 shooting.
Here's Giricek. Boozer was open, passed it to Harpring. And here comes Rafer Alston. It's a 2-on-1 for the Rockets. Alston, foul. That's going to without a first-round victory in its opening round series. 0 for 5 in his career, trying to change that trend. Williams.
Those two guys go head-to-head. The numbers have been Darren Williams justifying that third selection. And
that time he made a nice pass on the pick and roll. Boozer missed the shot. Alston looking to pound it inside to Yao Ming. Yao Ming getting the ball pretty far off the block, though, Bill. Foul that time on the help.
To correct some of the bad things and some of the bad habits that I've got him every day with the same opponent is going to be much easier for me. This is a big area where I need to improve. Doesn't need to improve with that end.
Lacking in confidence as a result of that, but boy, in the last week of the season, he was one of the top 3 players in the NBA. Okur with the stick back, rejected. Yao Ming got a piece of that one too, out of bounds.
The Hill McGill invented back in the early 60s in the streets of Los Angeles. Darren Williams continues to, you got to spread the floor and have better balance and timing on that attack when he turned the corner.
Brady, nice feed to Yao Ming, and Yao Ming got fouled.
Won 3 of the 4 since then, and with Darren Williams leading the way, they have been the better team in the early going of what promises to be a fabulous series with that emphatic throwdown by Carlos Boozer.
Impressive points there. Utah's lead back up to 5. Boozer with 6. Hayes underneath. Rebounded by the Jazz, looking for a little tempo here, and here comes Darren Williams.
Very few second chance opportunities. What a touch.
Darren Williams with the layup. Jazz, and they'll get another possession here. Fisher driving past McGrady for the layup. Derek Fisher. No fouls to give either way. Inside, and a foul against Paul Millsap. Was out, did a good job at improving his ability to catch the basketball. I'll tell you more about that in the second half. Here's Derek Fisher, 5 to go.
Need a solid possession right here to maintain your control and momentum.
Derek Fisher with the runner in the lane over McGrady, and that's going to end the first half of play. First round in his career. Second half underway, Yao Ming underneath. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a walk, Bill, but second quarter for the Utah Jazz. Williams out top.
That is that pick and roll basketball. Okur, when you're the visiting team and you've got a chance to win, your start of the third quarter has to be flawless.
McGrady rising up and nails his first field goal. Just kicks it out to Boozer.
Pick and roll every single time. Whoever Yao Ming guards, that's where they're going.
7 on the shot clock. Williams rising up and methodically knocking down the jumper. Darren Williams giving Utah a 7-point lead, and Williams with 5 for 10 from the field, total of 10 points.
Darren Williams, who grew up in the Dallas area, well accustomed to playing here in Texas.
McGrady inside, knocked away. Out of bounds, it'll be Houston basketball. Chuck Hayes today. His day started at 3:30 a.m. this morning. Nice pass off the inbound play. McGrady with the layup.
Chargers or Tony Gonzalez of the Chiefs, who played college basketball with Jason Kidd. And this guy, Chuck Hayes, would be an unbelievable tight end. Utah does not look near as sharp right now. This is very reminiscent of what happened at the start of this game a couple hours ago.
Yao Ming with a little jump hook shot. The NFL draft you saw on the screen. A very vigorous-looking Houston Rockets team, energized team here, emerging out of the locker room in the third quarter. Boozer over Yao Ming. And there's a look at the top offensive rebounding team in Alston. Alston point guard in name only. As McGrady, the main playmaker, Yao Ming leaning in. And Fisher controls, body strewn across the lane.
It's time for the Jazz to start running, get some fast break opportunities.
Boozer underneath, and that's going to be a block.
And he's very close there right now. The Rockets are 24-2, but they have not controlled any aspect of this game yet. And the great crisp ball movement of the Jazz earning yet another trip to the line here. He's lost determination. He's allowed other people to become the stars of the team. Now, Kirilenko is not a selfish player by any stretch of the imagination. But when you have other great players, Tracy McGrady is finding it right now. But when he has to address.
Utah 2 of 11 this quarter. McGrady off to Alston. Yao Ming with the rebound and fouled. Yao Ming going to the free throw line. And back comes Alston.
Boozer's going to the weak side on that double clutch weak step far too often. Offensive foul. Wunderlich waves it off the shoulder in the chest. Easy play to call. You got to move around people. You can't just run right through them. Tremendous defensive stand by Okur.
We were talking about it on the way over here. Sometimes, Bill, it's very difficult to officiate the big fellas like Yao Ming and Shaquille O'Neal, two freakishly large and agile athletes.
It still has to be a game of movement, no matter your size.
And Boozer misses again. He's fallen cold here in the third quarter.
And that's why Amari Stoudemire and Tim Duncan have the best chance against the Giants of Shaq and Yao Ming.
First round playoff action here between the Rockets and the Jazz. Tracy McGrady nails it. 5 straight first round losses for him in his career. Has never seen the second round of the playoffs. Williams off the mark and great hustle by Harpring.
Come out of the Motordrome right into Harpring's hands.
4-point lead for Utah.
McGrady is a completely different player here in the second half.
Off the pin down over Fisher, and here comes Tracy McGrady.
The sense that they had to get Yao Ming going early on, I think hurt Tracy McGrady.
Williams into the paint.
You're not totally blown away because he doesn't have that explosiveness that so many of the huge stars in this league have. But when you get up next to him,
Battier makes it a 1-point game. 2:05 to go here in the third quarter. McGrady getting in rhythm through the legs. Might have been better off shooting that. It's a 3-0 for the Jazz. And Fisher blew the layup. Oh my goodness, he missed everything. And Yao Ming never crossed midcourt. NBA TV on Tuesday, New Jersey at Toronto. The Raptors trying to rebound from the defeat today. McGrady with a great ball fake on Giricek. Oh, T-Mac is back.
classic example of what happens when you take the last game of the season off.
Fisher missing.
But Derek Fisher is trying to shoot his way back into
shot clock and game clock.
Everything has changed for the Houston Rockets because of this man with the ball. Clear out of his way.
He's giving it to everybody. And he gave a little to Giricek. Tracy McGrady.
But the Jazz in the third quarter, 4 for 22 from the field, 4 turnovers and only 11 points. That won't get it done.
Boozer over Yao Ming and Battier.
In the offseason, went to some Maverick playoffs games last year. They went all the way to the finals. Said it just eventually just got too much, too emotional, and he just couldn't do it. He had to go home and watch it on television. Obvious foul on Harpring.
Harpring has the foul called on him. That's his second personal.
But Yao Ming, who has done so much for the NBA, and the league is expecting that to increase by 50% next year alone.
Harpring off the screen, knocks down the jumper. The lead back to just 2 for the Houston Rockets. This is game 1 from Toyota Center. I'm Mark Jones along with Bill Walton and Jim Gray. Houston Rockets, the number 5 seed. They do have home court against the Utah Jazz, the 4 seed, Yao Ming.
More of a quick hitting attack that Yao Ming needs to get to. He He doesn't have a quickness or mobility advantage over these guys.
Harpring on the baseline, and Harpring now
Has to learn how to start these games more efficiently. And then Cleveland will have a home court advantage. And a home court advantage, the deeper you go in the playoffs, the more impressive it is. And more.
Here's Howard out top. Approaching 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Yao Ming with good position. Good ball rotation. Alston finally hits a three. Dallas, in fact, but then eventually lost that series in 7 hard-fought games. Here's Boozer.
One of the all-time collapses by the Houston Rockets. It was right after that series that Les Alexander, sitting at our right, gave Jeff Van Gundy a serious contract extension, trying to calm things down here in the Energy City, fourth largest city in our country.
Brady double team. They're trying to take the ball out of his hands. Here's Luther Head losing the handle. 4 on the shot clock. Not the way they drew it up, but it counts. Lead.
Luther Head, who, like Darren Williams, each missed 2 3-pointers in that championship college game against North Carolina a few years back. But this is Darren Williams at his best.
This Williams swinging around weak side. Fisher with 10 on the shot clock inside to Harpring. Harpring had it partially blocked by McGrady. Tracy McGrady doing it at the defensive end. And a nice feed. Hayes had it blocked, and they're going to call that goaltending for the Utah Jazz. Still plenty of time left for Utah.
But
down by 8.
Mark, the turnaround in field goal percentage has been remarkable. Tracy McGrady largely responsible. Biggest lead of the night.
Of someone right now that is determined to make it out of the first round. Harpring on the baseline. Rebounded by Hayes. Houston in the midst of a 13-4 run, leading by 11. They have emerged out of the locker room here in the second half as an entirely different team. The countenance, the look is all different, especially from McGrady. Was he taking a 3-pointer? That might be 3 foul shots.
And Tony Brothers, the referee, right there, holds up the 3 fingers for the 3-point shots. Wonderlic comes over to talk, but Tracy enjoying this immensely. He's been confused right now.
12-point deficit staring Utah in the face right now with 3 on the shot clock. Boozer had it stripped away by Chuck Hayes. And it's a 3-on-2 for the Rockets in transition. Great ball movement. Head with the layup.
And Jerry Sloan can only nice spurt from 6 minutes into the first quarter through the first half. Other than that, they have looked like they don't believe they can get it done. It's Chuck Hayes just sending it all back.
Foul troubles continued to haunt him in the second half.
But he had 2 points and 1 rebound in the second half.
There's Fisher. Derek Fisher. That's a 3-pointer. The lead down to 9.
It's knocked down free throws. They're not going to have enough time to win this game. It seems as if they've already capitulated.
Yao Ming working against Okur. Now had a good look at it. 45 seconds to go.
Hardest shot for a right-handed post player to turn into the middle like that. And Okur continues to have trouble sticking a fork in it.
Fisher with the step back 3. Derek Fisher with another 3-pointer.
But it will come back to that 2 fast break opportunities. 1 of 3 on 0 where Derek Fisher missed a breakaway layup. Oh, that's a hard foul there by Boozer. The other one was they had a 3-on-1 players. They win, and that's been Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming tonight. And Utah is only going to win because they don't have
the game. Battier to inbound for the Rockets.
Throw it in high. Yao Ming's a tremendous free throw shooter in the high 80s. Nelson, who has, just a magical touch with making guys enjoy playing basketball. Will Avery Johnson live up to his Coach of the Year resume in this very difficult series for the Mavericks?
Game 1 in the books. It goes to Houston, 84-75. Don't forget Sports Center coming up next. And Jim Gray standing by with the resurgent Tracy McGrady.